Hi, I'm Susanna Bowling, and this is live from the Hotel Edison. Times Square Chronicles presents. My next guest is iconic. If you saw a chorus line, then you definitely know who she is. She is a dancer, a choreographer, a director, a singer. She has done multiple projects, but you basically know her most as Connie from A Chorus Line, Baayork Lee. Baayork, I'm so excited to be with you. I think I came to New York maybe 2 to 3 years after Chorus Line opened.
Oh my goodness.
So, and plus I had so many friends, as you well know, that was in it.
Yes.
An ex-husband that was in it. Name it. What was the first show that brought you to New York?
Well, I was born and raised in New York, so I'm a New Yorker. And the casting agents came down to Chinatown looking for children for The King and I. So I was 5, and they went to all the schools in my father's restaurant, and so we all came uptown to the Majestic Theater, and we just walked across the stage, and and I was hired.
And you're like, what a great job.
Well, yes, I saw those chandeliers, I saw the red seats, and I said to my mother, this is it. But yeah, that was quite an experience working with Yul Brynner and Gertrude Lawrence. And that changed my life. Also, Yuriko was, she did the ballet, and she was from the Martha Graham Company. And then there was Jerome Robbins, who was with New York City Ballet. So there were 2 dancers, types of dancers, and I used to watch them warm up. And I would say to my mother, ask them what they're doing. What are they doing? And I'm doing my ballet warm-up, or I'm doing my Graham warm-up. Mm-hmm. And I just said, that's what I want to do that. And I made a decision at 5 that I wanted to be in the theater.
Did you get to dance in the Uncle Tom's Cabin ballet?
No, I was just one of the kids. I was one of the kids, and fortunately, I played Princess Yingawalak, and I didn't know how to read, and so I had to learn it phonetically. And I was on a white at that time. Equity had pink and white contracts, right. And so at 5 I was on a white contract.
Lovely.
Yes, because I had a whole monologue.
What happened after King and I?
Okay, so at the age of 8, I was fired because I outgrew my costume.
Oh, okay.
And so
they couldn't upgrade you to another kid?
No, there was only kids and the kids. And so there were 3 of us who were let go at that time, and one girl wanted piano lessons, and another girl wanted to be an actress, and I said, I want to dance. And so the Rodgers and Hammerstein office helped us, and Jerome Robbins helped me get into the School of American Ballet. So I was there for 12 years and got all of my training there.
So no shows while you were there?
Oh, of course not. But years later, I heard that Flower Drum Song was coming along, and I was still in school, and I went to the audition, and they traipsed us across the room, and they eliminated me. I was devastated. I went out to the alley, and I cried and cried and cried and cried, and who walks by but Richard Rodgers? And I said, Mr. Rodgers, Mr. Rodgers. And he remembered me, and they let me in, and I got Flower Drum Song.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Did you get to dance in Grand Avenue?
Yes. And by then, I had training. Right. And Yuriko was one of the lead dancers. And so they could see that I had training now.
And where did you go after Flower Drum Song?
Well, after Flower Drum Song, I was at Performing Arts High School, which is LaGuardia School. Right. And I had to graduate. In fact, one day...
Again, they wouldn't let you do shows?
Oh, no, because of Elliot failed, had gone into West Side Story.
Right.
And he didn't come to school. And so they just made a rule that you could not be in shows and be at the school. So I'm coming out of, I said, yes, I quit. but I
I would
came.
have quit.
But I'm coming out with lashes and makeup, and my ballet teacher, Bella Malinka, came walking by and she went, "Oh, you're still in the show?" And so the next morning, they called my mother and the principal, and I had to quit
Wow.
till I graduated, which was the best thing.
Sure.
Which was the best thing. But of course, I wanted to be with the, with the show.
I would totally want to be with the show.
Of course.
That was the whole reason I went to high school, was so I could do shows.
Yes, of course.
I loved high school for that
Yes.
version of life.
But Flower Drum Songs, the choreographer was Carol Haney.
Right.
And I don't know, she just loved the way I danced, and so the day that I graduated from Performing Arts High School, I got a phone call, and it was Carol Haney. This is like 3 years later, and she said, "I'm doing a show called Bravo Giovanni. If I thought about you, and I would like you to be in the show." And I said, "I'm sorry, I can't because I'm supposed to go to Juilliard in the fall." And she said, "Well, why don't you just be with us for the summer?" And it was called Bravo Giovanni with Cesare
remember that
Sirek
show.
and Michelle Lee. And so I was just going for the summer, and we went to Detroit, and you went out of town, and Philadelphia, wherever. And of course, it was coming to Broadway.
And you're like, I'm
And
there.
I said, Juilliard can wait.
Exactly.
And we did not run a long time.
Right, I remember
But
it was
I'm
short.
sitting on the fire escape at the Booth Theater. No, it wasn't the Booth, it was the Broadhurst. And they're painting a sign that says, Irving Berlin's new show, Mr. President. And all the girls are talking about it. We're going to the audition, and I'm thinking, oh, I've got to go to school, and I've got to do this and that. Why don't you just come to the audition, blah, 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 blah. I go to the audition with them, and it's for Peter Gennaro.
Oh, wow.
And they needed somebody that was tiny, that could play, I was Nanette Febvre's grocery girl. I was in the embassy from Alaska, not the embassy, but I was an Alaskan. And then I was in the Thailand embassy. And so I had all these different roles.
Fun.
It was so exciting, School? Why do you
Why
go to school?
You go to school to get this. So
Yeah, exactly. And so there was a knock on the door, and they said, "A man upstairs wants to see you." And I went, "A man upstairs wants to see me? Woo, my mother's really going to love that." And so he gave me his card, and he said, "I am directing a new Broadway show, and I saw you, and I would like very much for you to come and audition. And it's for Michael Kidd. He had just finished the movie Seven Brides for Seven Brothers." And so I get the card, and I go downstairs, and I say, "Oh, some guy upstairs, he's doing a new show, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's Norman Jewison."
Oh, wow.
And so, of course, I don't know.
Oh, so wait, did you do the Superstar movie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause-
Okay, we get to that.
no, because you're saying Norman Jewison, and
Yes.
I'm like, oh, wait, that's a
Of course,
Superstar movie.
you'll see me in the Superstar movie. And so I go to the audition, and it's for Michael Kidd. And, of course, he needs a dancing kid, and I'm a dancing kid. And so I was one of the kids. But he knew that I did point work. So he put me in the parade on point,
Oh, wow.
playing the piccolo. And so
Wait, what show was this?
Here's Love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Miracle on 40,
Yeah, I know what this
34th
is.
Street. And so in the pit, it was Elliot Lawrence, who had done the Tony Awards and everything. And he said, "Listen, Sammy Davis is doing a new show, and they need a shoeshine boy, and they need somebody who could, kind of dance, whatever."
Is this Golden Rainbow?
No, Golden Boy.
Oh, Golden Boy, sorry.
With Sammy Davis.
Yeah.
And so I go, "Oh, okay, and so it's Donald McHale is the choreographer.
Oh, wow.
And so now I'm using all of my technique from School of American Ballet, and so I get the job, and I'm the shoeshine. So now I'm the understudy to the shoeshine boy, and now they're seeing that I could dance a little more, so they're putting me a few numbers, and it was so exciting. It really was. And then Sammy saw that I could dance, and we went to taking us to London, and he made me one of the lead dancers.
Oh, wow.
Yes. In the meantime, with all of this, and Here's Love, there's a man named Michael Bennett,
Yep.
and he plays the rag doll. And
he's dancing at the
and
time.
he's dancing
okay.
at the time. And I had gone to school, Sevilla Fort School, which was very close on 44th Street. And Michael Bennett used to come down every summer, study there. So I knew him when I was doing Flower Drum Song.
Wow.
And he said, I remember the day that you came in and you said, I just got Flower Drum Song, my second Broadway show. He said, and I wanted to kill you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Was he
said he
dancing?
hadn't-
Was he dancing on Hullabaloo yet?
No,
Okay.
this is him coming down, from Buffalo. So, so I get a phone call. I'm in London, and no, it's before that. After Here's Love, Michael Bennett, we connected, and he said, "Listen, I don't want to dance anymore, and I'm looking for my own group, and I want you to be a part of my group because Bob Fosse has his group, and Michael Kidd,
Right.
and now I want to be a choreographer. I want you in my group." So I said, "Absolutely." We all needed a home then. We
Right,
all
of
needed,
course.
yeah. And so he said, "I'm doing a show called A Joyful Noise," his first
yes,
show.
I remember.
And so it was Donna McKechnie, Tommy Toon. I mean, all of us, we were in it together. And we did the circuits, the summer circuit. And with
the tents.
all the tents, we did all of the tents on the East Coast, the Lenny Debbins tents, yes, on and on and on and on. And so we get to Westbury. And David Merrick is in the audience. And we're all looking at David Merrick, and we're going to Broadway, And we did go to Broadway for a week.
So sad.
Yes,
It's like when you're like, oh, we're there.
yes,
Not.
yeah. But in between that time, that's when Sammy took me to London because we had a time off. And so I'm dancing in London, and I get the phone call, and it's Michael Bennett saying, I am doing a show called Promises, Promises, and I want you in it. And I said, I'm so sorry, but I'm a lead dancer now. And so with Sammy Davis. And he said, well, how much is it going to cost to get you out? This is a Broadway show. And so somebody bought me out because the next thing I know, I'm on Broadway doing Promises, Promises.
Now you're one of the three, right?
Yes, I'm one of the 3 turkey girls.
Oh, God. No, I swear to you, every Thanksgiving, I watch this song like 6, 7 times.
Oh, my goodness.
I love the choreography to this
Oh,
part.
my God. I love it. And I also taught it.
Hello, head rolls.
Yes. We used to go to the chiropractor at least once a week. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was dancing, that was the thing
yeah,
I could
that
do the
head-
best. I was
the head-
like, head rolls, yeah.
Head rolls, head rolls, head rolls. Yeah.
Yeah, when you have long hair, it's like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah. So Promises, Promises, I started out dancing, and then Michael came to me and he said, listen, I'm going to train you to be my dance captain. And I said, oh, no, I just want to dance and be in the front and smile. And he said, no, I'm going to train you. So I became the dance captain because the dance captain had taken the London company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so he needed somebody, and so he started training me. And we ran for 3 years on Broadway, and then I at least 2 or 3 years, I re-choreographed all of his numbers from Promises, Promise,
Wow.
all over the tents, regional theater.
Do you
So I
still
was
teach? Do you still teach this?
Turkey Lurkey?
Uh-huh.
Yes. In fact,
I want class.
I did it at the Hotel Edison Hotel, and Good Morning CBS came and filmed it. Yes.
I'm not kidding. I want to learn.
Okay, I'll have to do it
I know
again.
I know parts of it,
Yeah.
but I don't know the whole sequence.
So I stayed in the show for 3.5 years, and then I went around the country, and I was getting my feet wet, directing and choreographing. And what came next? Oh my goodness! In the meantime,
A chorus line?
No movie.
Oh,
So
Superstar.
Yeah. So no, Seesaw came next.
With
so,
Toon.
Yeah. So I get a phone call.
You're
from-
the balloon girl next to
Yes,
Toon.
I'm the balloon girl. So Michael Bennett calls me and he says, "Okay, meet me at the LaGuardia Airport. We're going to Detroit. I'm going to fix the show called Seesaw." And I go, "Okay." Michael called. And I get to the airport. There's Tommy Tune, there's Bob Avian, and we go and we watch the
Nita
show.
Morris?
Lainey Kazan was the star.
Okay.
And Ken Howard.
Right.
And we go there. And
So they replaced Lainey. Was Anita still in it? Was Anita in it
Oh,
then?
no. Anita was Grover Dale's assistant.
Oh, she wasn't even in it at
I don't
that
think
point?
she was in it. Because
At one point she danced in it.
Oh.
'Cause
Yes, but she danced when Michael Bennett came in. So now here we are trying to hide because Michael is going to fire half of that company.
Okay,
and
got it.
So we are in the producer's suite. I'm in the bathroom with Bob Avian banging on the toilet seat with the drums. We're doing El Barrio, El Barrio. We're doing the El Barrio song. Tommy Tune is in the bedroom doing it to the tap number, and Bob Avian is doing something else. He was with me, and Michael is in another room with Michelle Lee. They were writing the book.
Wow.
And we're sneaking around because they're doing the
firing.
show at night. And so everybody's nervous. And so Grover was the only one that stayed. And so he choreographed the opening number, and then Anita danced in it.
Right.
She was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I love that show.
Oh my God, I'm so glad.
I
It's one of
do.
my favorite shows.
I love the music.
One of my favorite shows.
I would 3, 4. I would say 4 of those songs were my audition songs.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Holiday Inn was my favorite thing in the world to sing.
Yes. So, I just remember they were writing.
He's Good for Me is in that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just remember we are in Detroit, and now, we're doing the show, and they just wrote a new song, Psychoman, and so.
Which one?
It's the
It's Not Where You Start?
no. It's her song. It's the fast, wonderful song. Anyway,
I know what it is.
okay. So we had to put her lyrics, and Michael staged it so she was here, and then we staged it here because the lyrics were there. He had just written the song, and it's the big,
I know what it is.
it's
It's like,
it goes on and on and
you've
on
got to
and
get out
on.
of my life. I can't
We'll
have an
get
affair that wouldn't end up on the flops. Ha! I like the lyric is in my head and I can't think of the title.
We'll get it before. Yes. Anyway,
I love that song.
She brought the house down. She brought the house down.
Sure, it's a song about
Yeah.
falling the frick apart,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
you're not.
Yeah. And she was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And so we opened at the, what's the theater? It's a church now.
Oh, yeah. Mark Hellinger.
Mark Hellinger. We opened at the Mark Hellinger, yeah. Oh, did we? No, that was another show.
That's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure of the theater. Oh, it was called the Uris Theater.
Oh,
which was now
yeah,
the Gershwin.
yeah, okay.
That's where we opened. Yeah. And
I love that show. I can't believe it.
yeah, but we only lasted a little while. So Michael Bennett says that he says I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to grow potatoes because the theater. I mean, this is it. So I go to Bob Fosse's audition.
For which one?
Oh God, I guess it was Chicago.
Okay. Charity?
Chicago, I think. And so I get home, and there's a phone call from Michael. I heard you were at Bob Fosse's audition. And I said, well, you said you were going to retire.
Well, Michael was always a drama queen. Don't you think?
And not always, but sometimes. But he said, no, I'm doing something, and well, we don't know what it is, and blah, 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 blah. And it was that night. Everybody sat around to do the tape sessions, and I said, well, I'm not going to sit around and just, talk about myself. So I stayed out. Bob Avey and I went and had cocktails. We stayed out, because that was 24 hours
Right.
that they did. And Michael comes back and says it was fantastic, this and that and the other. There was another tape session, and he said, I want you to have a tape session with Pam Blair at my house.
Oh, nice.
So I had to do a tape session, and the rest is history.
Did you know that it was going to be as iconic as it was?
Of course not. We had just done Seesaw that flopped. And
Did you guys?
Henry Sweet
Sweet Henry.
Henry Sweet Henry was in there somewhere.
I was going to bring that up because poor little people.
Poor little person.
Poor little person. I love
Yeah,
that song.
yeah.
Did you guys all get a piece of
A chorus
chorus line?
Well, we had to fight for it. And a very, very small piece. There are 52 of us.
Right.
52 because he had
The tape sessions.
two sessions, and he promised everybody. And then there was the people on the line. A lot of those people, they didn't get their lives on the line.
Right.
But they are still participating. Yeah.
I think that show changed the way that we see musical theater. I think that all of a sudden dancers who
Yes.
were considered, I would say, at the bottom of the pole at some points.
Of course.
Which was insane because they did the most work. But I think that show finally elevated dancers to a new level.
Well, that was the whole point that Michael wanted to make, because that's why he has the white line.
Right.
So you step in front of the white line, and that is the star. And you're behind the line. You're behind the star. And so he created that line to let us know you can be.
We've missed something.
What show?
Because I know that, no, not show. The Milliken Breakfast Hour.
Oh, yes.
No, you don't even know. When I was
Yes,
from
and
LA and I heard about these, all I wanted to do was either see there, be there, dance there, anything
Yeah.
that had to do with the Milliken, and I get to New York and they're gone.
So we started the Milliken show during Henry Sweet Henry. They asked Michael Bennett to do it. And so, of course, he got all his clan, the Bennett clan, and we were all in the Milliken show. And I stayed for 12 years. Every year they would call me, and I would, And so I could not be with the big girls because the clothes wouldn't fit.
Right.
So I was with the kids.
Oh,
And then I became dance
but then you
camp.
became the star of the kids.
Yes, not the star, but I was the dance captain of the kids. I took care of them. Jane Krakowski.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Sarah Jane Parker.
Wow.
All of them. They were like tiny, tiny kids. And I was the dance captain. And then Graciela Danielle took over, and I became her assistant. And I started choreographing the Milliken show for the kids with Donald O'Connor. Yeah.
I'm so sorry that I missed these because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, this was the thing I coveted more than life itself.
So Milliken is a fabric company.
Right.
And they would save all of their money to do this one show at the Waldorf. And it was 6 o'clock in the morning.
The breakfast hour.
The breakfast hour, and then all of the buyers would come in, and they also had designers because the fabric was made by so and so and so and so, and the dress is by so and so and so, and they would order. Lots of orders went out during the breakfast show, and we had 10 stars. One time we had Sid Charisse, Cheetah Rivera, Gwen Verdon, Ann Miller. I mean, it went on, and of course Broadway stars also.
If you were a musical theater person and you knew about these, I'm telling you, this was the thing. It was,
And you couldn't get a ticket.
Yeah, this was kind of like
Yeah.
the nirvana of what we do that
Exactly.
we couldn't see.
Yeah. And the wonderful thing was at the end, they had to give everything away. So they would give all the props away. We got all of our clothes. And then,
Nice.
Yeah, and we got a bonus.
Yeah, I heard it was like,
The bonus. Woo!
I heard it was amazing.
And I would say 90% were in Broadway shows. So they would send a limousine with our little brown bag and send us to the matinees. Limousine. First time I was ever in a limousine.
You're like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Of all the shows that you've done, which one is the one that holds the most heart to you?
Well, it has to be a chorus line. It has to be a chorus
Not
line.
necessarily.
But for dancing, seesaw. Seesaw, yeah. And of course, promises, promises, turkey lurkers in my bones.
Seriously, I love that. I watch dance numbers on YouTube all the time. Like I watch TikTok. I finally found a TikTok. I watch the Grand Hotel. Let's take a glass together. I watch Turkey Lurkey. Yeah, I'm totally. When I need to be cheered up or I need to do things, this is what I watch.
What's so wonderful about my life is that it has.
You've worked with every iconic choreographer. Who didn't you work with?
Well, I haven't worked with Ron Field or Bob Fosse because I was too tiny.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, when I left a chorus line, Michael had me. I was his assistant. I was the dance captain. I knew everything, and so he kept saying because he didn't like to fly. So I would go to Australia or I'd go to London, and I would all over. Finally, one day I said and every time I came back to New York or California, he'd say, you have to do Connie. And so I'd have to get up and put the costume on. And finally one day I said, I'm done. I'm done. And I always said to Michael, he said, do you want to be a star? Everybody wanted to be a star. And so we all went to California to be a star. But a chorus line was a star. And as soon as we realized that,
and you were like, okay.
Yeah, we're going back to New York.
But did you all really want to be stars, or did you just want to work?
That's exactly what I said to him. I just want to work.
Yeah, that's how I was. I didn't care about being a star. I just wanted to work.
But let me tell you, after a chorus line, we were superstars.
Oh, man, yeah, of course.
We were superstars. And so all of the MGM and Paramount and Desilu, all of them, we were all interviewed and, because
what for you was the biggest, because I did this, I got this? What would that be?
I got... Well, I was the first one to get a television, not a series, but a spot with Rock Hudson on his television show.
Nice.
I played his secretary.
I'm trying to think of the name of the thing. McMillan?
McMillan and wife. And so I was the first one to get something. And then Ron Dennis, he played a drag queen that was robbing banks. Priscilla Lopez, she got her own television series in Canada. But I would say more than half the companies has stayed there. They wanted to live there. But Graciela called me. She said, B, you better come back. I want you to assist me. So I came back to New York.
What of all the props or costumes or anything from the shows that you did that you took, which one is your favorite?
That I took? I took my Deborah Chacronin seal coat from Mr. President.
Nice.
Yeah. And I had it for years and years and years and years. And then it came to the point where it was so stiff, the seal had just, it was walking away. And so I just said, it has to go.
Now, tell us what you're doing now, because seriously, I could talk to you for days. You're like, when I was little, where other people read books, I would read Theater World and memorize them. Okay. So for me, you're like a walking, talking theater world that has come 3D, 5D, whatever.
Well, going around the world, directing a chorus line everywhere, and I found myself, I was invited to go to South Africa, Cape Town, to Stellenbosch University to help them form a theater company to go into the townships to talk about AIDS. And so, but we did it as a comedy, like Saturday Night Live, because the professor said that they had, nurses going in and doctors going in and statistics and points and everything.
It's too much.
And too much, and nobody was getting tested. And so he had this idea that we need theater. And so I was called in to help them. And so I helped them with two shows. And I'm sitting in at the beach in Cape Town, and I said, you know, I'm helping all these people all around the world. I have not helped my own community. Mm. And so I needed to go back to Chinatown in New York. And so I got to direct The King and I.
Oh, lovely.
And two of my assistants, Nina Zoe Lam and Stephen Eng, were my assistants. I said, you know, where do all these wonderful, talented Asians go? And they said, well, they have to wait for the next King and I or the next Miss Saigon. That's about it. And so I said, well, I've been thinking about why aren't they doing Oklahoma Carousel, Hello Dolly,
Really?
Oliver, Into the Woods? And they said, no one's going to hire us. And I said, we're going to have a company. And so National Asian Artist Project was born. Out of the seat of our pants, we didn't know what we were doing, but we knew there was a need for a company for our community. And now we are going to be 14 or 15 years old. Wow. But really, arts education is really important. And I said, you know what? We need to start with the kids. So I went back to Chinatown to one of our schools, and we have a program there. And they do Annie, Kids Annie, or Kids, Guys, and Dolls.
Do they do the musical theater international things?
Yes, they do.
I love that.
They do, Junior Theater Festival. So we take them down there, and they come back singing on the plane with their little trophy. Aww. And yes, and so that warms my heart that I formed the company. And I have the choir, and
which performs
here. Thank you, Ramel Gopez.
Okay, when does it perform here?
Here, they're performing October the 4th on Friday.
This will probably air after that. So when's the next one?
Oh, well, it's the next month. We'll have to let you know.
What the next month is?
No, I don't.
We will let you know because I've seen them, and this is so heartwarming. It's really, truly wonderful.
Yes.
And actually, Ramel will let me know.
Yes, he will let you know. Yes. Well, so I have a history with Ramel. Do I dare tell?
Yes, please tell.
Okay, so
please.
Okay, so after all of my adventures and all of that, I get a phone call, and do you want to direct Jesus Christ Superstar? Mm. And I've said, of course. I've just done the movie, and I want to have everything authentic, and so we were doing a tour around Europe. And the first company, it was just incredible because I just remember being in Israel and looking up at the cross, and all of those scenes in the desert dancing. And I said, I want to recreate that feeling. So the first company was finished in Amsterdam, and we went on to the second company. Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, after all of this, I didn't tell you about my life on a ship.
Oh, you did cruises.
Cruise ships. And Ray Kennedy, my dear, dear friend, who was a Bobby in a chorus line.
Well, the best thing about ships, or the worst thing about ships, is the food. And you're like, no, because it's there.
Anyway, I needed dancers immediately. And there was Ramel.
And who did Ramel dance as?
Yes, he's one of the
apostles?
Apostles, yes.
Wow.
And to bring us back together again and to give us the opportunity to have the choir sing once a month. It's so important to them because a lot of them are still at school. And
it gives them hope.
And it gives them hope. You should see them after the rehearsal. They don't want to leave.
Oh, yeah, I was like that.
They don't want to leave.
Sure, because it's the thing that no matter where your life is at, you can grab onto that because it's yours. No one really can take that away from you unless they say you're not in the choir, in which case.
And the last rehearsal, Moses is one of my teachers at the school. He belongs to the group. He was doing a shoot for dog chow or something, commercial.
chow?
And there was an extra, older woman who was Filipino, and he said, "Do you know about NAP?" And she says, "No." He said, "Come tonight." And she has now joined us. And last night she was in tears. She said, "I have been looking to find a home, a group. I can come every Tuesday." And she just gave me chills.
I'm a firm believer that we're like the avatar tree, and we need to find our communities. You know, if that's
Yeah.
not it, then this is.
Yeah.
I am so grateful that you've been my guest. I have to wrap this up, I'm being told. But I could honestly...
Well, this is the book.
I could
You
honestly...
got the book.
I could honestly talk to you for hours. I am so grateful to Magda Katz for filming us and always making us look good. For Romel Gopez, for the Hotel Edison, for giving us a home and allowing us to do what we do. And for bringing me Baayork Lee. I am like a little theater kid in heaven. And I'm way older than kid. But I am so grateful to Baayork Lee for being here. I'm Susanna Bowling. This is Live from the Hotel Edison. Times Square Chronicles presents.